Fuel cells. Fuel cells generate electricity through a chemical reaction caused by mixing fuel with oxygen. There are a number of types, but cells using hydrogen are increasingly used in vehicles and electronic devices. Inside a fuel cell. A fuel cell is similar in structure to a battery. The cell produces a flow of electrons from the anode out of the cell and back to the cathode. This external flow of current powers the car. How a fuel cell works. A fuel cell is an electrochemical cell that produces an electric current, which is used to power motors or other electrical devices. Hydrogen fuel cells produce electricity without combustion and emit only water as a byproduct. Obtaining oxygen from the air and hydrogen from its internal tank, a car's electric motor can typically run for about 300 miles. Fuel cells are usually deployed in stacks. These provide an electric current, which is increased by a boost converter before supplying the motor. The full process of converting power from a fuel cell happens in 6 steps. Step 1. The supply of hydrogen. Hydrogen from a tank or other supply is pumped into the fuel cell and travels to the anode. Step 2. Chemical reaction. A chemical reaction at the anode strips the hydrogen atoms of their negatively charged electrons. The positively charged hydrogen ions pass through the electrolyte to the cathode. Any unused hydrogen is recycled. Step 3. External circuit. The separated electrons are diverted along an external circuit to the cathode, creating an electric current as they move. Step 4. Hydrogen ions reunited. When hydrogen ions reach the cathode, they reunite with the electrons and react with oxygen in the air supply to form water. Step 5. Air supply. Oxygen from the air enters the fuel cell and travels to the cathode. Step 6. Wastewater. Water is released by the fuel cell as a byproduct. A car powered by a fuel cell emits water at a rate of about 6 fluid Oz per mile. Uses of fuel cells. Fuel cells remain an emerging technology but one with a vast range of potential applications that make use of its compact, convenient, and exhaust-free source of electricity. They are used in vehicles such as forklift trucks, zero-emission buses, city trams, and some cars. Fuel cells are also used in portable electronics, spacecraft, and aircraft. Fuel cells in space. Fuel cells first traveled into space on NASA's Gemini missions. A stack of hydrogen cells housed in the service module also provided electrical power for the Apollo manned missions to the Moon. Each of the fuel cells contained 31 separate cells connected in series. The fuel cells used by Apollo proved highly successful, producing up to 2,300 watts of power while being less bulky than batteries and more efficient than solar panels. Sources of hydrogen. Most hydrogen is produced from fossil fuels, particularly natural gas. The most common method used is a process called steam methane reformation, which produces some carbon dioxide emissions. Other processes, such as electrolysis, harness hydrogen without harmful emissions but use lots of energy. Methane and steam react to produce a mixture of gases, which are sent to a shift reactor where more hydrogen and carbon dioxide are created. A purification stage produces pure hydrogen. So there you have it. That's how energy is converted from fuel cells. We hope you learned something new. If you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again soon.